Welcome to this stories. It began with the sound of laughter, a melody that felt both intoxicating and dangerous. Not the kind that springs from laughter or light-hearted exchanges, but something deeper, more intense, and undeniably charged. This was unlike anything else. It was the kind of laughter that hung in the air, a sweet echo of something unspoken, a moment that felt both thrilling and wrong. The kind that lit up her eyes, a spark I thought had long faded away. It began with soft laughter, fleeting moments that felt like stolen glances in a crowded room. But after years of knowing someone, you can feel the moment everything changes. And something had changed forever. Zara, my wife of 7 years, had a spark that drew everyone in. Yet, in the past few months, she had crossed a line that felt both thrilling and dangerous. Secret gatherings. Secret gatherings. Late-night meetings that lingered, stretching the boundaries of time and propriety. Once, I believed in her completely. I had never dared to question her before. But then, the secrets began to intertwine. Whispers exchanged in secret, a fleeting connection in the quiet of the night. The unexpected, secretive visits to the gym. The way they bristled at my innocent inquiries felt like a barrier, a wall between us that only deepened my longing. And then, the moment that sent a shiver through my heart. Her heart raced at the thought of them. Zara had always cherished her close circle of friends. Secret moments shared with couples on stolen weekends. Stolen moments together. Secret gatherings under the stars. But then, everything changed. They began to act strangely, as if a hidden tension hung between them. Too perfect. So worried. As I stepped into the room, silence enveloped me, heavy with unspoken words and lingering glances. It felt like I had stumbled upon a hidden moment, one that was never meant for my eyes. Adriana, her best friend, had a talent for revealing secrets she shouldn't. It was both endearing and dangerous. Isn't marriage just so complicated? It was one fateful evening, whispered between sips of wine. Sometimes, we must embrace the bittersweet twists of fate. Her eyes darted away, a silent plea wrapped in uncertainty. How she averted her gaze, as if my eyes held a secret too intense to bear. That was the night I chose to guard my heart, knowing the danger that lingered in the shadows. Zara always kept her phone turned away, as if hiding secrets that whispered of longing and unspoken desires. Forever. It was an old habit, one that now felt dangerously unyielding. On that fateful Friday night, she surrendered to sleep on the couch, her phone vibrating with secrets she dared not explore. My heart raced as I lingered in the shadows, yearning for a moment that felt both thrilling and wrong. Counted the seconds until her breath became a soft, steady rhythm. In that fleeting moment, my hand moved, drawn by an undeniable pull. The screen flickered, revealing a glimpse of something tantalizing yet out of reach. I longed for the moment our eyes meet once more. Last night felt like a dream, filled with stolen glances and whispered secrets. I wonder if you still think of me, a secret smile lingering between us. Whose name flickers there, igniting a rush of feelings that should remain hidden. Kirk, my heart races at the thought of you. Kirk, my heart races at the mere thought of you. My fingers clutched the phone, trembling with a mix of longing and fear, as if it held the weight of our unspoken desires. Kirk was more than just a colleague. He was a secret that made her heart race. He was the charming senior consultant she couldn't help but admire from afar. The one she thought would always stand by her side. The secret she kept hidden, a whisper in the shadows of her late-night endeavors. I gently set her phone down, my heart racing, and turned to leave, knowing I shouldn't look back. My heart raced wildly. My mind is a whirlwind. I longed to rouse her from her slumber and seek the truth, yet I found myself unprepared. Not just yet. I craved a sign. For the next 2 weeks, I faded into the shadows of my own marriage. I chose silence instead. I never sought conflict. I allowed her to think I was unaware, that my trust in her remained intact. In the shadows, I found myself drawn in. I went through our call logs. Whispers in the dark. Forever drawn to Kirk. Forever erasing the traces of their moments. I trailed behind her, heart racing with each step. She whispered that she was off to a team dinner, but something in her eyes hinted at a secret longing. I observed from a distance, trying to make sense of it all. Alone. No dinner tonight. Only the two of them. They stepped inside, laughter dancing between them, a spark of something unspoken lingering in the air. A piece of my heart broke apart. The woman I had woven my dreams around, the one who once whispered promises of eternity, had slipped away into someone else's arms. And yet, the world continued to spin, with smiles plastered on faces that should have known better, pretending as if nothing was amiss between us. They understood. They all felt it in the air. And in that fleeting moment, everything changed. My heart shattered, not just by my wife's betrayal. My heart shattered as the ones I loved turned their backs on me, leaving me alone in a world that felt so cold and unforgiving. I returned home that night, but sleep eluded me. I lingered in the shadows of our room, captivated by the soft rhythm of Zara's breath. Tomorrow, I would seek the truth, regardless of what it revealed. I was ready to shatter the fragile dreams she held so dear. I stirred in the darkness, heart racing with a mix of longing and unspoken fury, the world still asleep around me. Zara lay beside me, her breath soft and rhythmic, her expression serene, as if the world outside had faded away. Serene in her ignorance, blissfully unaware of the truth I held close. I lay there, eyes fixed on the ceiling, heart pounding with unspoken thoughts. Today was the moment we had both been waiting for. I had all the evidence I needed. The whispers of our hearts, hidden behind screens. The secret meeting at the hotel. The way our so-called friends had shielded her felt like a secret we were never meant to share. She made a fool of me, all while pretending to build a life with Kirk. But I couldn't let my heart betray me in public. Not just yet. If Zara wished to weave her own truth, I would gladly allow it. Just once more. At breakfast, I wore my mask. "Do you have any plans for tonight?" I asked, my fingers trembling slightly around the warm cup, the air thick with unspoken tension. Her gaze was fixed on the screen, as if the world around her had faded away. Another work dinner, where stolen glances linger longer than they should. "It's complicated, isn't it?" I nodded, my heart racing with unspoken words. "Absolutely. Where will we meet this time?" Her heart raced as she paused, caught in a moment that felt both thrilling and wrong. Back to the same place where it all began. The hidden gem of a steakhouse downtown. Deceiver. I caught the fleeting glances, the unspoken words hidden beneath the surface. The anxious quiver of her lip. A secret she'd carried since her college days. I fought hard to mask the turmoil within me. "That feels right," I whispered. "I think I'll spend the evening alone, wrapped in my thoughts." Her smile was a fleeting spark, igniting something deep within him, a warmth that felt both exhilarating and wrong. Utterly deceived. "You really should. Let go, just for a moment. Take a breath." She had no idea what awaited her, a storm of emotions just beyond the horizon. As soon as she walked away, my heart raced with urgency. First, I whispered a lie to the world. There was no chance I could stay cooped up in that office while my wife flaunted her betrayal in the open, hand in hand with someone else. Next, I packed a small bag, not for departure, but to gather the remnants of a love that felt both thrilling and wrong. My heart races at the thought of it. Lens. And a voice recorder, a secret kept close to the heart. If I were to confront this truth, I would make sure it was undeniable. By 6 p.m., I found myself parked outside the hotel where I had watched her slip inside with Kirk just a week ago. Deep down, I always believed she'd return to this place. Those who betray are bound by their own patterns. And I knew it all along. At 6:42 p.m., Zara's car slipped into the lot, a heartbeat away from everything that could never be. She felt a presence beside her, a warmth that ignited something deep within. Kirk was behind the wheel, the air thick with unspoken tension. His fingers brushed against her thigh, igniting a spark that felt both thrilling and wrong. I tightened my grip on the steering wheel, struggling to steady my emotions. My breath hitched, restrained. Not just yet. They shared a quiet laugh as they stepped inside, the air thick with unspoken tension. His fingers brushed against her, igniting a spark that felt both thrilling and wrong. She wore the dress, and it felt like a secret between them, a moment stolen from the world. The dark one I had chosen for our secret celebration last year. I stepped back, allowing them to share their fleeting connection. Let them find solace. And so I trailed behind. I slipped through the night, a whisper of longing in the dark. The hotel lobby felt desolate, the silence heavy, save for the disinterested receptionist who barely acknowledged my presence as I slipped by. I glanced at the guest list, my heart racing at the thought of seeing him again. He was everything I shouldn't want, yet my heart raced at the mere thought of him. Room 314, where secrets linger and hearts race. I stepped into the elevator, my heart racing with the thrill of what lay ahead. Each step echoes with the weight of what's slipping away, a silent farewell to a love once cherished. By the time I reached their room, my heart raced with a mix of anticipation and fear. There's no way to undo this. I just walked in. I burst through the door, heart racing. The atmosphere inside was tinged with an unexpected tension, a bittersweet irony that made the heart ache just a little more. They sat close, their connection undeniable but complicated. Her lips hovered tantalizingly close to his. Their drinks remained untouched, a silent testament to the tension between them. Her laughter faded into silence the instant our eyes met. Her face lost all its warmth. Oscar and Harvey. Kirk rose unsteadily, heart racing with a mix of fear and longing. Words caught in my throat, a rush of feelings I dare not voice. Hey, what's going on? Silence, Kirk. Just for a moment, please. My voice was a chilling whisper. Zara leaped to her feet, her hands shaking with a mix of excitement and fear. Harvey, please let me explain. Unravel the secrets that linger between us. I chuckled softly, a bittersweet smile crossing my lips. What do you mean, Zara? That your work dinner led to this unexpected encounter in a hotel room. Kirk stepped closer, heart racing, trying to appear braver than he felt. Listen, please. You really should. I aimed my camera at him, heart racing. Whisper it, Kirk. Just once, let it slip into the air between us. Take the leap. Tell me why you've been with Sadie, my wife. His heart stopped. Zara stifled a choked cry. Harvey, please. Don't walk away from us. Oh, no, we can't be doing this. I moved in, heart racing. My voice trembled with a quiet intensity. Because after this, you can't return and act like nothing has changed. You can't hide the truth from me, Zara. Your hollow words won't sway me anymore. Her lips trembled with unspoken desire. It was never my intention to cause you pain. That's not true. I broke. If you truly felt anything for me, we wouldn't be in this place. Yet it happened. And now, I held the stack of printed messages, the photos from our stolen moments together over the last few weeks. I let them fall at her feet. Now you must confront what you've done. Zara's heart raced as she fell onto the bed, her hands covering her face, hiding the turmoil within. Kirk, despite his arrogance, was left speechless. I hesitated, my heart aching as I turned to leave. In that fleeting moment, I hesitated and looked back. Oh, and Zara. Her gaze met his, a storm of fear swirling within those wide eyes. This morning, I took the first step towards freedom and filed for divorce. Her breath caught in her throat. Kirk whispered, "Oh God." I stepped outside, the door crashing shut with a finality that echoed my heart's turmoil. And I walked away, heart racing, never daring to glance back. I braced myself for the consequences. The longing, the heartfelt regrets, the empty assurances that it was all just a fleeting error, that her heart still whispered my name. When the heart falters, desperation spills forth, revealing the depths of longing and regret. But what I never saw coming, what shattered me the most, was the treachery of those I once held dear. It began the morning after I revealed the truth about Zara and Kirk. In the dim light of my half-empty living room, I cradled a coffee that felt as hollow as my heart. The divorce papers lay before her, a bittersweet reminder of what once was. Zara hid away at her sister's, unable to confront the feelings that pulled us together yet kept us apart. My phone buzzed relentlessly, but I brushed it off until a name appeared that made my heart race. Edgar, my secret heart's desire. The man who had been by my side on my wedding day. With a heavy heart, I let out a sigh and replied, "Hey, you there?" I spoke, my heart heavy, anticipating the weight of their sympathy. His voice trembled with unspoken longing. "Harvey, we have to discuss something important." An hour later, I was at our secret cafe, heart racing as I sat across from Edgar and Adriana, Zara's best friend. The air was thick with unspoken words and stolen glances. Edgar avoided my gaze, a silent tension hanging between us. Adriana stood there, arms crossed, radiating a tension that felt both familiar and dangerously thrilling. So I whispered, my voice barely above a breath. "Who dares to take the first step?" Edgar's heart raced, a mix of longing and anxiety swirling within him. "Harvey, we can see the pain in your eyes." Yet. I raised my hand, trembling with unspoken words. "Don't. Just answer one question for me, please." Our gazes met, a spark igniting between us. How long have you kept this secret? Edgar's heart raced. Adriana's lips trembled, a fleeting moment of longing before she sealed them tight. There it was, a fleeting moment that ignited a spark in the shadows. My stomach nodded, but I masked the turmoil within. I leaned back, arms crossed, heart racing with unspoken desires. You were aware, yet you chose silence. Adriana dared to roll her eyes, a spark of defiance igniting the air between them. Harvey, it's more complicated than you think. I let out a soft, bitter laugh. Oh, it's so achingly simple. You were aware of the secret she kept, the betrayal that lingered in the shadows, a love that was never meant to be mine. Instead of confessing that he had protected her, Edgar simply ran a hand through his hair, his eyes filled with unspoken emotions. It wasn't supposed to be this way, you know. We believed it was just a fleeting moment, that she would find her way back to reality. I let out a bitter laugh. Just a fleeting moment? Edgar, my heart races at the mere thought of you, a secret longing that feels both thrilling and wrong. She was lost in a moment with someone else in a dimly lit hotel room. Adriana let out a heavy sigh, her heart aching with unspoken longing. Harvey, we can't pretend her actions were right. Yet, perhaps you should consider finding a way to make it work. My gaze lingered on her, a mix of longing and unspoken desires swirling within me. Are you serious right now? She leaned in closer, her voice barely a whisper. We've shared so many moments, Harvey, yet it feels like we're dancing on the edge of something we shouldn't. Don't let one mistake shatter what we have. Just one fleeting moment. My jaw tightened, a storm brewing within. Do you really believe this was just a single misstep? I asked, my voice trembling with unspoken longing. I have months of secrets hidden in our messages. Whispers of stolen moments. Whispers in the dark. Do you think it was just a coincidence that she fell into Kirk's arms? Adriana's heart raced, a mix of anger and something deeper stirring within her. It's more than that. It's a choice between holding on to love or letting your pride tear everything apart. In that moment, everything changed. They were only pulling me deeper into the shadows of their world. They were weaving a web of guilt, urging me to let go of my anger and forgive her. My eyes met Edgar's for a fleeting moment. Do you feel the same way? His jaw clenched, a storm of unspoken feelings brewing beneath the surface. There's something about this that pulls at my heart, something we shouldn't feel but can't help but embrace. Perhaps you're moving too quickly. Zara, it just doesn't add up. Absolutely. Are you truly prepared to risk everything we have? Let it go? I leaned in closer, my voice barely a whisper. She discarded it the instant another man's hands brushed against her skin. Adriana let out a soft, frustrated sigh. Oh, Harvey, don't be so intense. I breathed out softly, my fingers tightening around the coffee mug, fearing it might break under the pressure of my longing. Then I whispered the question that had been haunting my heart. Who else was aware? Whispers of longing linger in the air. I searched their faces, feeling the weight of unspoken secrets in their gazes. More hearts were aware. It was never just Edgar. It was never just Adriana. They all knew, but no one dared to tell me. I let out a soft laugh, my heart racing as I shook my head in disbelief. Wow. Everyone just watches as I play the fool, lost in my own heartache. What? Sharing laughter and stories over dinner, while my heart ached with the knowledge of her betrayal. And you all felt it. Edgar let out a heavy sigh, his heart aching with unspoken words. Harvey, we shouldn't have crossed that line. My gaze lingered on him, heavy with unspoken feelings. This isn't your place, Adriana whispered, her voice trembling with a mix of longing and regret. Our relationship had cracks I never noticed before, and she sought comfort elsewhere. I stood still, heart racing. Her hand flew to her lips, but the words had already slipped away. I slid my chair away, rising to my feet. There it is, that fleeting moment that makes my heart race. The undeniable truth. I silenced him before he could speak, the air thick with unspoken words. I glanced at Adriana first. Is it really you? You're a temptation I shouldn't crave. You always were, even when it felt wrong. Now I understand why you were always by Zara's side. Because you both share a darkness that binds you together. Her face contorted with a mix of fury and longing. But it didn't matter to me. Then I glanced at Edgar. What about you? I let out a breath, sharp and trembling. You were meant to be my closest confidant. And in my darkest moments, you turned away. Harvey. I raised my hand, trembling with unspoken words. It's over. I turned and walked away, my heart aching with every step. They left me behind, silence echoing in the space between us. They understood. They had let me slip away. That night, the sound of the buzzer echoed through my apartment, sending a thrill of anticipation coursing through me. The moment I saw the name, my heart raced, a thrill of anticipation mixed with a hint of danger. I opened the door, and there she was, Zara, a vision of chaos and beauty intertwined. Her hair fell in wild disarray, a beautiful chaos that mirrored the turmoil in her heart. Her makeup ran, eyes puffy and red from the tears that fell like forbidden whispers. "Harvey," she whispered, her voice trembling with unspoken longing. "Could you please? Can we meet in secret?" My gaze lingered on her, heart aching at the fragile image before me. Why must we hide this feeling that burns so brightly between us? I dared to ask, "Is this just another web of deceit you're weaving for me?" Her head shook in a frantic denial. "Oh, please, no. I simply can't. I made a mistake. I know I shouldn't have. But please, Harvey, don't let this slip away from us. Please, don't let this be our last moment." I gazed at her, my heart heavy, and finally whispered, "This is it, Zara." Her breath caught in her throat. "Harvey, I need you. I would give up everything for you." I took a step closer, my voice a whisper laced with determination. "We chose our paths, but the ache of what could have been lingers in the air between us." Her tears fell like whispers in the night, but my heart had already turned away. I shut the door on her, and an emptiness washed over me, stark and undeniable. The door clicked shut behind Zara, her heartache echoing softly against the solid barrier. I lingered in the silence, heart racing, hoping she would dare to knock once more. It was time to let go, even if the echoes of the past lingered. She couldn't. After what felt like an eternity, her footsteps faded down the hallway, and in an instant, she was lost to me, lost to the shadows of longing, forever lost to me, lost to the shadows of my soul. I turned away, my breath hitching as the silence wrapped around me, a bittersweet comfort I couldn't resist. After what felt like an eternity, a flicker of peace washed over me, tender and fleeting, like a secret moment stolen from the world. The next morning, I awoke with an unexpected clarity, as if the world had shifted overnight, revealing secrets I dared not explore. There's no turning back now. It's time to stop hoping for a miracle to mend what's broken. It was time to clear the air, both in my heart and in my home. First, I collected all the remnants of Zara, each item a whisper of what we once shared. Fabric that whispers secrets of longing. Adornments that whisper secrets of longing. Each fleeting trace of her presence lingers in the air, a bittersweet ache that I can't escape. I packed everything away in dark trash bags, my heart heavy as I left them outside, a bittersweet farewell. If she truly wanted her belongings, she could come for them herself. Then, I let go of the past. Silence hangs heavy between us now. No more desperate whispers. No more voices urging me to turn back. Next, I severed ties with everyone who had kept her secret, their silence a betrayal too deep to bear. Is that you, Edgar? Gone, but the memory lingers like a whispered secret in the night. A fleeting connection, electric and unspoken, wrapped in the shadows of what could never be. Hearts racing, eyes meeting in stolen glances, the world around them fades away, leaving only the ache of longing and the thrill of the forbidden. A love that dances on the edge, both exhilarating and heartbreaking, forever etched in their souls. Adriana, forbidden. Every friend who stood on the sidelines, lost to the shadows. I craved no justifications. I had no patience for hollow words. If they were fine with me being the fool, they had no right to be part of my new beginning. And at last, I put my name on the final divorce papers. 3 days later, an email from her arrived, igniting a spark I thought I had buried. It felt endless. Whispers of longing linger in the air, a connection that feels both exhilarating and wrong. Each stolen glance ignites a fire, a spark of something beautiful yet forbidden. Hearts race in the shadows, where love dances on the edge of desire and consequence. Haunted by a relentless loop of longing, heartache, and unspoken desires. Her heart still whispered my name. She had crossed a line. She yearned to mend what was broken. She had the audacity to ask, "Can't we just forget this and move on?" My heart raced as I gazed at the screen, fingers trembling just above the keyboard. And then I laughed. a sound that felt both joyous and dangerous, echoing in the shadows of what we dared not speak. She couldn't help but smile at the irony of it all, the way their deceit danced in the shadows, so painfully obvious, yet so intoxicatingly alluring. She couldn't help but smile at the boldness of a woman daring to defy her promises. Broken trust lingers like a haunting whisper, and somehow believed I could let it all slip away. I crafted just one reply. Zara, this is it for us. All my anger has faded away. Only longing. Forbidden feelings linger in the shadows. You mean nothing to me anymore. Please, just leave me alone. And with that, my heart raced as I pressed the button. In that fleeting moment, a weight lifted from my heart. In the weeks that followed, an unexpected spark ignited between them. I found a spark within me once more. No more tiptoeing around the truth. Never again will I doubt what I feel. No longer will I linger in the shadows of my own love story. I lost myself in my work, seeking solace in the distraction it provided. Found my way back to my family, a bittersweet reunion filled with unspoken feelings. Discovered a new circle of friends, each moment tinged with excitement and a hint of something more. Those who truly stood by me. I found myself in a new apartment, a space that felt both exciting and lonely, where every corner whispered secrets of what could be. Acquired new pieces that whisper secrets of comfort and longing. Transformed every corner to whisper my essence, not the shadow of my broken vows. After so long, I was finally creating something that was truly mine, and it felt so right, yet so wrong. One evening, months later, I found myself at a rooftop bar with friends, laughter mingling with the warm breeze, yet a lingering ache tugged at my heart. The city skyline loomed ahead, a bittersweet reminder of what could never be. A shimmering expanse of warmth and longing. The air was electric, filled with unspoken longing. In that fleeting moment, she captured my heart. Zara, my heart races at the mere thought of you. She sat quietly at the edge of the room, her fingers tracing the rim of a half-empty glass of wine, lost in thought. Her hair fell in wild disarray, a beautiful chaos that hinted at secrets untold. Her eyes were a shadow of their former light. In that fleeting moment, our eyes locked, igniting a spark that felt both thrilling and wrong. Her lips parted, a whisper of longing escaping into the air. Perhaps I should whisper a secret. Perhaps to beg. Perhaps it was time to recognize the burden of all that had transpired. I couldn't help but smile, a fleeting moment that felt both sweet and wrong. And just like that, I looked away. She was my secret. What about the path ahead of me? It had never felt so alive.